I started playing Stardew Valley, a farming simulator RPG game, and it was really fun. I started with this little farm and nothing else. Then, after a few days, I ended up with this successful farmland which brings some good money and joy. This clip has that kind of 100 days video format, so I won't show everything that I do in a specific day, but only the main tasks, some side quests and the goals I reach. So, without further ado, sit back and enjoy the video. So, this is the character creation page, and look how this player changes, getting from this to this. Now this kinda looks like me when I wake up after a rave. Yeah, for this video I will go with the standard farm because it's the most basic. Well, I woke up and found a present from Mayor Lewis. He gave me 50 parsnip seeds, which is not much at all, but we have to start from somewhere, right? As I left my cottage, I started clearing this space right in front of my house because this is where I was about to place the crops for the rest of the run. Then, I started chopping down some trees since I needed a lot of wood for the first few days, and also placed the parsnip seeds from Lewis, as well as some mixed seed. And finally watered them. I also crafted a chest so I could deposit all the items that I won't use for the rest of the day. Next up, I checked the bus station and found a daffodil and a leek, then went to the town square and entered Pierre's shop. Here I greeted the townspeople and purchased 25 parsnip seeds. Then, as a cool citizen that I am, I checked the trash cans for loot, but didn't get anything at all. So I went to the beach to see if there are any forageables, and I found a mussel and a clam. For the rest of the day, I kept on greeting people and looking for forageables. I also went to the onion field to find only 3 spring onions. Only 3. Well, I kept on looking for other forageables as well, and then returned to my farmland since I had to plant the other parsnip seeds that I bought. This process consumed all of my energy, but I restored it with some fresh and tasty onion. Later that day, I went to the mountainside of the map to find the one and only Linus. Then I also greeted Demetrius. I wanted more mixed seeds, so I checked this little garden behind the community center as well as the one behind the Joja Mart. Before the day would end, I would chop down some more trees, then organize my inventory and go to sleep. This was the first day, probably the most iconic day in Stardew Valley. Now, it's time for the second day. It starts with a cool mail from Willie telling me that he came back from his fishing trip. So, as a cool farmer and fisherman that I will be, I started watering my crops, then started chopping down some trees since I got a task to complete during this day. I wanted to repair the beach bridge, and for that I needed 300 wood. As I got to the beach, I met Willie and started fishing immediately. I took a break in order to repair the bridge that connects these two parts of the beach. Right here, I could find some more forageables that can be sold for some gold, and that's exactly what I did. I went to the mountain lake and started fishing here until it almost got 11 PM. I sold all the fish and I got some gold, not gonna lie. The third day was a rainy day, so it means I won't waste my energy watering all the crops on my farm. I went to the beach and got a dried starfish, which is an artifact. I went to the local museum and donated it, meaning that I get 250 extra gold. Then I continued fishing at the ocean, then at the mountain lake where I got another artifact. Then back to the ocean where I also got a fisherman achievement. I stayed here for the rest of the day and that was it. I got to level 2 and 3 fishing, and this is how much gold I got. It was enough to get a backpack from Pierre's, so now I had 24 slots in my inventory. What I did for the very rest of the day was fishing, since this was the only source of income for now. I kept on fishing until I ran out of energy. By the end of the day, I organized my inventory for what was coming in the next day. Again, I got quite some money from fishing. Now, day 5, a bad luck day apparently. I woke up with Marnie telling me that she found an orange cat near my farm, so I adopted it since I am an orange cat lover. Day 5 is an important day in Stardew Valley since it's the first day when you can harvest the first crops planted. In this case, the parsnips. I went to Pierre and sold as many of them, then I bought a lot of kale since it's probably the most profitable crop that you can get at this point. I went back to my farmland and planted it, then I went to the community center to check the rat problem, and check it I did. I found the Stardew Valley equivalent to the enchantment table language. Again, day 5 is an important day in Stardew Valley since the mines can be accessed. I won't commentate how my experience with the first 10 layers was, I will let you watch a short montage. I finally reached the 10th layer, meaning that I get a pair of leather boots. I continued my trip lower in the caves, but then I got way too tired and had to leave since it was also midnight. As I got home, I crafted 2 furnaces and started smelting some copper since I will need it as soon as possible. Day 6 was a lucky day, and I also got some cookies from mom. I watered my crops, then I went to the wizard to learn the Junimo language. I also checked the onion fields and got some more spring onions, then I donated some more artifacts and got 9 cauliflower seeds as a reward. I still had a lot of time, but not that much energy, so I went to the caves again in order to get lower and lower. I kept on looking for enemies to kill and for minecarts to loot. I also reached floor 20, meaning that I get a new and better sword. Layer 24 was, as always, cool to explore since it has a lot of crates, and that was it for this day. Day 7 started with me going to clean because I wanted to upgrade my pickaxe, and since I couldn't mine, I did some fishing and foraging. I also completed my very first bundle in the community center and then planted the spring seeds before sleeping. It was really annoying that I was getting more and more seeds while using the same watering can every day. You can see that early in the morning the energy bar was low already. Since I didn't really have anything to do, I gave Linus a cave carrot since he requested one, then I kept on killing some more enemies in the caverns. Day 9 was a bad luck day, but at least I got a copper pickaxe, so I went straight to the mines. Again, I kept on looking for minecarts, crates and so on. At one point I have reached the worst layer from these mines, layer 13, which doesn't have any chest. These layers are pretty annoying without a glow ring because you don't really get to see much. Now, I was kinda lucky to have some torches scattered around. A bit later I reached floor 40, which had a slingshot, a weapon that won't be used at all. Being below floor 40 meant that I could finally get some iron, but I didn't stay a lot in here since it was almost midnight, so I had to leave. It was raining that day, so I went straight to the caves and wasted almost all my energy before the noon. I had to get some extra food, so I hunted down some insects for the bug steak crafted with bug meat. Day 11 was a special day not because Robin lost her axe, but because we had something to harvest, that being the kale. I went to the onion fields again, and this is where I also found Robin's axe. I went to Pier to sell all that kale, got the greenhorn achievement, then visited Gunter and donated some more artifacts, asked Clint to upgrade my pickaxe once more, then gave Robin her precious axe. For the rest of the day I decided to fish here at the mountain lake, then chop down some more trees. It was a pretty productive day if you ask me. It was Friday, so I started as always with watering, then I checked the traveling merchant for the first time and bought the rare seed. A bit later I continued chopping down more trees since I wanted to get as much wood as possible. Then I went to the town river and did some fishing. By the end of the day I had 9 melon seeds from Gunter and a chicken statue which will look cool in a coop. Day 13 is the Eggs Festival day and also the day when I spend a lot of money on strawberry seeds. What I did after that was to annoy the kids and play in the egg hunt game hosted by the locals. The winner was not Abigail. Well, before sleeping I planted all these strawberry seeds. Day 14 got me with some spring forgeables and yet another bag with a rare seed. I got a pickaxe back and went to the mines but got surprised by a lot of enemies. A while after I got to find a lot of iron and that was convenient since I needed a lot of it for future projects and upgrades. By the end of the day I reached this spiral layer and smashed all the crates for extra loot. Day 15, the start of the salmonberry season. I ran across Pelican Town to check all the bushes and collect as many berries as possible, then I completed the spring crops bundle, then I went to the mines once again and acquired a glow ring from a dark slime. I also reached these layers in the ice cave that looked the best out of all of them. Another day, another salmonberry gathering session, another upgrade by the one and only Clint, another session in the ice cave that ended up with me reaching floor 80 and getting the firewalker boots. However, before continuing, I returned to the upper layers and killed some more insects and got the ancient seed, which was amazing. Before going to sleep, I got some more gold and that was it for the day. It was another rainy day, so no watering. I went straight to the caves and started looking for the earth crystal since I needed it for the boiler room bundle. This was the easiest one to complete and that was it. The boiler room has been repaired. For the rest of the day I did some more fishing, then I planted the ancient seed. During the night the Junimes repaired the minecart and that was the main goal for this run. Day 18 started with me reorganizing my chest, then moving on to the caves. It was fun dealing 1 damage against these enemies that could kill me in 5 hits. I reached the 89th layer and look at these, so many mushrooms. These all can be sold for a lot of gold, not going to lie. After getting all of these mushrooms I went to the next layer and acquired the obsidian edge, a sword that will help me for a long while. Before the day would end I would go to Clint to get a upgraded watering can, then water my crops and then go back to the mines since I wanted to get deeper. Unfortunately I was stopped by this layer where I had to kill all the enemies in order to progress. Yeah, not doing that this time. This is how much gold I got after this day. I woke up with Demetrius telling me about science, but my choice was clear already. I went to the caves once again and found a diamond. A bit later I found another one, and that was great because I could sell it for a lot of money. Of course that I had to reach an infested layer, but since I couldn't do anything about it, I started hunting down the enemies and eventually killed them all. Floor 100 was the one I wanted to reach, since this is where I get my first star drop, the one that reminds me of you subscribers. You know what you have to do, smash that subscribe button. I kept on finding diamonds while mining, and I also reached floor 110, which had the space shoes. This is how much gold I got after selling all these gems. It's been a while since I have visited the beach, so it's time to collect all these forgeables, then give Judy a cauliflower since she requested one. I also finished the construction bundle since I got 10 hardwood, and then went to the mines again. This time I had one main goal, that being to reach the last floor, floor 120. It took a few minutes, but in the end I was here. I finally got the school key. Floor 120 in day 20 sounds pretty bad, someone did it in the first mining day. Back home I got some pickled cauliflower, and this is how much gold I made that day. Day 21 was the first harvesting day for strawberries, a high profit crop that you can get during spring. I wanted to harvest more, so I got some extra parsnips and kale to help me with that farming experience. I still needed some iron for what I was about to make, so here I am. Another day, another watering session, and also fishing session. I got enough gold in order to upgrade my backpack, allowing me to have 36 items, which is the maximum. A bit later I did some fishing and then put them in the fish bundles. By the end of the day I went to the saloon and made Clint jealous by bringing Emily a Joja Cola, an item that she requested a bit earlier. By the end of the day I got to level 5 foraging and fishing. Day 23 was a rainy day, so I decided to go for the catfish at the river in the morning, then for the eel at the ocean during noon and the bream during night. I wanted these fish for the fish bundles. This was also yet another successful fishing day. Day 24 was nothing special, since all I did was to clear the farm a little more, then watch all the teenagers from this town dance with each other after being refused by everyone. Another rainy day, another harvesting session. Unfortunately, it was the second and last wave of strawberries for this year. I went to the caves once more since I needed more gold for what I wanted to do. It was almost the end of the season, so I wanted to make sure that I get everything I need for the next season. By the end of the day, I got to level 6 farming, meaning that I could craft quality sprinklers. Having the quality sprinklers means that I won't have to waste my energy watering crops every day. Unfortunately, the recording for the last 3 days got corrupted, so I don't have footage to show. However, all I did was fishing and mining. Well, I should show you the aftermath of this first season, starting with the iron axe and the fact that I have a lot of gold ready for summer seeds, but that's not it. Look at this little farmland here, doesn't it look decent? This was it for the first 28 days in Stardew Valley. It's time to move on to the summer season, and I can't wait for the next video, which will be either a full year movie or yet another 28 days or one season video. Until then, thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe. See ya!